And we are back. Hello again, Colts Nation. Welcome into the second game of the doubleheader tonight between the Centennial Colts and the George Brown Huskies.
Yeah.
My name's Anthony Cinti, and I'm here with
Zach Phillips here, alongside a frozen Anthony Santia. But no, it's going to be a great night. This game's going to heat us up. It's going to be a great battle between George Brown, currently sitting at 3-2-3, taking on the Centennial Colts at 4-1-3, a battle between third and fifth place in the East Division. It's going to be a good one here with George Brown coming in on senior night, as we saw with the women's side, with some being honored. We got 7 Colts being honored. We'll get through those as the night goes on.
Yeah.
But right now we have a big matchup with Centennial heading into the playoffs coming up in the next couple. Well, there's one game left, and it's this weekend, this Saturday, as well as the
last home game
go on
for
the bus
Colts
with
today.
the women, with the women's team to Durham. But yeah, this is a big one here today as George Brown is in town. But before we get started, we have some presentations to get to, and we'll step aside while the seniors in this year's graduating class are being honored.
We'll be back.
Santiago has been a consistent presence on the team, known for his passion and love for the game. He was critical for us in the indoor season. His ability to work with anyone is what we will miss the most. His diving ability and his eagerness to learn more has been unwavering. Santiago's future is bright, and we're excited to see what he'll accomplish next. Next is number 23, Sumi Oya. Coach Chicago is going to try and make me say this name, but Ola Sumi Zola, or Sumi, as we call him, has brought energy, determination, and strength to every match. His defensive abilities and calmness under pressure have been invaluable, especially in high-stakes games. Sumi's positive energy, or attitude, and willingness to go the extra mile have inspired everyone around him. It's been a pleasure to coach, and we know he'll excel in whatever path he chooses next. Now we call up number 21, Luis Piñataro. Luis has been a true team player, always bringing a level of creativity and flow to the pitch. His offensive contributions have made a real difference in closing out our matches. Luis's commitment to the game has earned him respect from his team and coaches alike. We wish him the best as he moves forward in his journey. Number 19, Natharshan Anurada. Natharshan has been a steadfast defender in central midfield. He's always ready to put in the hard work and make crucial interventions. His ability to read the game and make smart decisions under pressure has been a huge asset for the team. Natharshan's dedication to improving his game and helping his teammates has made him a key figure in our squad. We're proud of his contributions and excited to see what life takes him next. Number 15, Matthew DeMichel. Matthew's positive attitude on and off the field has been nothing short of commanding. His ability to learn and put the team ahead of himself has been a defining feature of his character. Matthew's hard work, dedication, and leadership have been critical to our success, and he leaves behind a legacy of improvement for future players to follow. We wish him the best in all of his future endeavors. Next is number 12, Keith Dadson. Keith has been an explosive player, always bringing energy and passion to the game. His speed, agility, and tenacity have made him a constant threat to opponents. Beyond his technical abilities, Keith's team spirit and positive influence in the locker room have been a huge part of our team's cohesion and success. We're excited to see Keith continue to shine as he steps into the next chapter of his career. And last but not least, number 8, Aziz Traore. Aziz has been a dynamic force on the team, known for his versatility and tactical ability. His agility and quick thinking have made him a standout in key moments, whether in attack or defense. Aziz's dedication to the game and willingness to adapt have been instrumental in our success. His drive and passion will undoubtedly take him far in whatever path he chooses next. Thank you to both the players and the coaches for that presentation. Remember, you're graduating now, but you will be a Colt forever. Once again, welcome to Colts Country, our Progress campus, for today's OCAA men's soccer matchup between the visiting George Brown Huskies and your Centennial Colts. Introducing first, the starting 11 for the visiting George Brown Huskies, Coach Piper Williams. Number 3, Felipe Hakeem. Number 4, Angelo Riccio. Number 6, Daniel Perasoto. Number 7, Marcel Ismaili. Number 8, Mark Socorto. Number 10, Gianfranco Giulietto. Number 11, Hakeem Bailey. Number 14, Ezra Debreckense. Number 16, Samir Debrayesu. Number 18, Dante Samuel. And then next to the Huskies, number 1, Andrew Charivar. And now, the starting 11 for your Centennial Colts, coached by David Latavo. Number 2, Diego Faria. Number 4, Vlasis Papethimiou. Number 7, Luke Ihama. Number 10, Duarte Ventura Oliveira. Number 11, Shamir Akbar. Number 13, Luca Ferrari. Number 16, Brian Alvarez Pereira. Number 18, Adonis Batsina. Number 19, Natharshan Anurada. Number 24, Justin Yard. And in net for your Centennial Colts, number 1, Josh Naray.
And we are back with the second game of the doubleheader between Colts Nation and George Brown. It is time for the men's game between the two teams. Earlier today, we saw the women's game, Centennial picking up a 1-0 win off an Odessa Payton goal in the first half. What are your expectations for this one, Zach?
Yeah, we're going to see another game between two teams that are going to try to possess the ball the entire time. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because Centennial's missing a few key players due to injury. We'll get through those as the game goes on. But it's senior night here, and the Colts are going to want to get started quick and get started hot. And I think they have a little bit of extra juice in their system today. And they're going to need it because it's, as we've said many, many times, it's a chilly night here. The first real chilly game of the 2024 OCAA season. And as we keep going into October, they're only going to get cooler. But let's run through the seniors before the starting lineup. As the graduating class from this Colts year roster has come upon us. They got honored today with some nice picture frames and some pregame
Beautiful
speeches.
Beautiful photos.
So starting us off, Santiago Aroyave Arreyes. He is one of the seniors graduating, the second year from North York. Listed as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, usually the backup. He's not playing today. You got Josh Narin in net, who is really one of the big key players for this Colts team.
Yeah, another one would be Olu Oye Olasumi, another big part of this Colts team, both on the indoor and outdoor squads, and he will be heavily missed as well. Moving through the list, though, is Luis Painatari. another big loss. Natharsan Urahara, as he'll be missed as well. A lot of seniors, 7 moving on.
You can almost have a full starting 11 with just seniors moving on. You even got a goalie.
Exactly, right? Matthew Demichel, another one of the graduating class. And Aziz Traore, followed up by Keith Dadson. That rounds us out at 7, but those 7 members are going to be very, very missed as the Colts come back next year, but still lots of year left this time around. And they got 2 games left of the season, including this one, before playoffs.
Yeah, Centennial starting off this game fast down this wing as there's just a little bit of misinterpretation between teammates Luki Hama and Duarte Ventura Oliveira, 2 of the big pieces that this Colts team has. But they started off quick. We saw it in the women's game as well, both teams running around, and the pace just slowly falling off the farther you got into the game because of the colder it got. So we're going to look out for that trend in this game as well, as Centennial are known for holding possession, both the men's and women's team, and they're going to try to look to do that in tonight's game. This is a good ball over the back line for George Brown. They're looking to press early and get out in front, as not many teams have been able to do against this Centennial roster.
Yeah, Centennial 3rd in the league at 4-1-3, taking on George Brown, sitting down there in 5th at 3-2-3.
Not much separating the two.
Now Centennial 2-1-1 at home, with George Brown supporting a 2-0-2 record on the road. So it's pretty...
This is a bad give up for George Brown. So the keeper's off his line, and it's going to be offside, so they get away with one there, George Brown's back line. Sorry for interrupting you, Zach.
Absolutely, Anthony. The game must go on, but that was a close play down there that we have to get into the action soon if you're Centennial. Hashtag Colts forever, as gets blasted all over the pitch here.
Yeah, that's our huge slogan, and especially on a night like Senior Appreciation Night where we honor all of the graduating players. That's a huge slogan to go off of. George Brown just holding the ball on their back line, going to try to win it is Duarte.
Yeah, good to see him back in the lineup as he missed last week.
Yeah, had a little bit of a pulled groin he was saying that he picked up against Seneca. Luki Hama, one of the fastest players I think I've ever seen play. He just blisters down this right side as a right back. Looking for the little 1-2 are George Brown. Their passing's been impeccable so far early in this game. The cross comes in.
Dangerous play there, but
it's going to be called offside. So Centennial get away with one now, as that ball was just trailing wide. George Brown's attack did well to get in that offensive position.
Yeah, you see down there in goal for Centennial, Josh Noreen, one of the league's best. Used to lead the league in save percentage, now up around the 4th mark with 2 of the backups sitting at a 1,000% rate right now. But one of the better keepers, sporting that goals against average below 1.
It's a great long pass launched for the Colts as they're looking to get in behind this George Brown defense. That is a solid back line, and it's bounced off the Colts offensive player, and it will be a goal kick for George Brown. First of the game, as this can be Sherivar.
Keep an eye out for number 8 of the Huskies, Mark DeCoito, leading the league in scoring. 10 goals on the season.
Wow, good for him. Only player with 10 goals. He's also their captain, so definitely you know that this is something that really flows through him. As for Centennial, their marquee player is Duarte Ventura Oliveira.
Yeah, the marquee matchup is DeCoito and Ventura Oliveira,
who he can just make magic off the ball. Vlasis is on this one, just jogging in the midfield.
Vlasis Papamatthew.
That's a long ball over the back line for Luki Hama. He does keep it in. He's got options. He decides to go in. This is going to be a goal kick as he just slowly ran out of space as George Brown pushed him closer and closer to the byline. So Sherivar with another goal kick early in this game.
Sherivar, one of those keepers in the league with the 1,000 save percentage. He's appeared in 3 games, but started 2. Hasn't given up a goal yet this season.
Well, Centennial's going to be hoping to give him his first goal against this season. This is a good ball forward for Duarte, who does great to lay it off to Duarte. And a good launch pass over for Luke Ihama. They're going to try to get numbers in the box. It's a low pass. Sherivar did good to come off his line and claim that. As we'll look at the replay here. Just great awareness from the goalkeeper. As you said, is
good play.
Their backup goalie and still making these impeccable plays. It's always nice when teams have multiple goalies that can really do business in net.
George Brown really does a keeper by committee. 4 different players on their roster have started a game in net for them.
Wow. Spell's going to be cut out by the back line. Blas is able to take that one down. Passes back to Alvarez. That's going to be a free kick for Centennial, the first of the game.
Excuse me, only 3 goalies have actually made their way into action this season for OCAA, but they do have a 4th listed.
So the ref's just going to have some words with the George Brown player, telling him just take it easy. We're only 6.5 minutes in. It's number 11, Bailey, who's just told by the ref, you got a long way to go. You don't want to get in the book now.
Yeah, Hakeem Bailey getting into it here. As we saw a lot of really strong, clean battles in the women's game, and we expect the same here in the men's game between 2 really aggressive teams.
Yeah, watching the Centennial team, we know that it's a very physical game whenever they're here. So it's going to be very intriguing to watch them play for sure.
They will award a goal kick.
Colts player down. He's just kind of bounced off the George Brown defender there.
And
nothing in it. I just think he got caught out of possession, trying to get back, and was shown the hip.
Yeah, nothing too major down there.
I believe it's going to be a throw-in.
It's going to be a throw-in as opposed to... no, it was just a little game of give and go over there between the two, I think.
Yeah, usually the goalie really prominently stops the ball so he can tell when you're taking the goal kick, assuming he already took it, or it was a free kick for George Brown. Nonetheless, Huskies balls to get underway. It's a good cutout there by the back line. Great slide tackle in there, thinking he won possession, but it will still be a George Brown throw-in.
Yeah, nice effort there from the defender. Can't tell if that's Diego Ferris back there or...
That throw-in's going to lead to just a clearance off possession. Number 4, Rico, trying to keep the ball away from Duarte.
One of the quicker guys.
Takes a shot, and it's going to be an easy save for Sherivar. Let's look at a replay here. It looks beautiful from our angle, but right down the pipe.
Yeah, nice easy save for the keeper, but Ventura Oliveira had some speed there. I thought he might have a quick break off and have a little lane to the net on an open look, but George Brown, defender, was able to keep pace.
Well, that's one thing that every team coming into town playing Centennial looks out for, which is Duarte, because this man can make magic out of absolutely nothing. I've seen him score multiple free kicks. He's just an incredible player and an incredible pickup, as this is his first outdoor season for Centennial. Played indoor last year, but missed out on the outdoor season. So George Brown and their defense definitely know all about him, and we'll be keeping an eye on him for sure. This is Vlasic on the ball as he finds Luki Hama.
Centennial looking to get something set up over midfield. Looking for a way through the defense.
This was back to Diego Furias. Finds Luki Hama. Him and Duarte interchange, as that's going to be a good pickup by Smiley. Vlasic as well to keep pressure on there as Luke comes back in and steals the ball back. Duarte is going to send it all the way back to Josh Narain.
Smart play there just to get it to the other side of the field. Nothing was happening on this side. just turn it up the other way and see if something can get going over there.
Centennial just trying to slowly make their way up the field without losing possession of the ball. Duarte launches that one all the way up the field, and he finds his man. Oh boy. George Brown players down with a potential injury, and they're going to stop the play.
Yeah, they'll call out the training staff.
Hopefully everything's okay as he just kind of limped over. I don't know if maybe the Colts player potentially stepped on a foot.
Yeah, tough to see from this side of the field, but they'll have him checked out.
Hopefully everything's okay. As you can see, both the Colt holding up a Colts Forever sign.
Pretty quick pace to start this game. Nothing too dangerous mustering in either side of the net, on either side of the field, but good pace back and forth.
Yeah, it's the closest opportunity that either team got to anything was Duarte's shot that ended up being right at George Brown's goalie. But both teams are going to take a minute to just go back and check tactics, get words from the coach. As we saw that in the women's game earlier, when someone went down, the teams would take a moment, talk to each other, listen to their captains. Here it seems as if they're going to the coach. But it does look like there is going to be a substitution coming in for George Brown. We'll get you the numbers whenever our vision is good enough from length away to see who's coming in and who's subbing out. But again, hopefully the George Brown player is okay. We will be stepping back for a moment, and we'll be back once play returns. All right, we're back from the little time off from the injury.
Quick injury timeout here on Colts pitch, but everyone seems to be okay. Quick substitution. They'll keep looking on him over on the sideline. Still waiting to find a number for you, unfortunately, to give you the update, but we'll keep working on that. But for now, Centennial will get the ball.
Well, we're going to have to wait because, I don't know which number the player is for George Brown, but he has just taken a seat again on the field. The trainer's going to come back out. Maybe he said he was going to try to continue, but obviously whatever the injury was a lingering one. And we see a second person actually get up for George Brown's substitutions.
I don't know if a second player is now down on the field or if it is the same player from the first, because I see somebody on the table as well.
Oh, you do?
But I believe they might have just set the first guy for a better grip going off.
I cannot see that far to the table. If there is someone there, hopefully everything's all right. But this is not a good start for George Brown. We're going to resume play here. It's going to be a drop ball, and it's Huskies ball.
So the Huskies will start it, excuse me.
Yeah, Samuel's on the ball.
Defender will clear that. Goalie couldn't pick it up. Almost dangerous.
Yeah, good heads-up play by Samuels as you say, the goalie couldn't pick it up due to it being George Brown ball. Nonetheless, good little dink over the back line. Trying to run in there are the Huskies. It's going to be a 2-on-1. Colts defender doing very good to keep possession here. As another Huskies player is down, but I think just in frustration. That's a great clearance all the way down into the box for George Brown. And they're going to leave it for Josh Narain.
Bit of a pile up down there, but all is good for the Colts as they'll let Narain dive on that one. A little
Miscommunication.
Little miscommunication, but good work from Luca Ferrari to receive that long ball and just kind of calm it down out of harm's way. Perhaps maybe letting it go to the keeper, Narain, might have been the better bet, but nonetheless, nothing comes out of it.
So this one goes keeper to keeper as is now in Sherivar's grasps. He's going to find Samuels, the center back. He's going to try to build out of the back. He finds number 4, Rico. Sends Duarte to the shop. Back to Samuels, who sends it all the way back to Sherivar.
Yeah, pace is slowing down, a little slip there. The turf is getting a little wet as the night moves on.
Yeah, there's a 40% chance of rain coming in the next hour, so we're praying that doesn't come through because it wouldn't be fun for anyone. This one's back for Samuels.
That's sent way up, but out of the reach of the crashing.
It's a great grab there by Narain.
Ezram Gabretensing, who I believe was the one down originally, back in this one.
Colts finally having a little bit of possession here in George Brown's half. Ihama sends it back to his defensive partner.
As we mentioned, Centennial currently sitting in 3rd place. They've taken down the current 1st place, Algonquin Wolves, a few weeks ago here in a thrilling game.
Yeah.
But since then have dropped a tough one to the Shield, the Golden Shield, and that put them back for their only loss of the season.
This is a great run here. Smiley finds Galeppo. Tries to launch it down the field, but that's cut out by the Colts back line. Vlas is on the ball now. Finds Luke. Colts just playing with the ball in their own half now. Perhaps trying to engage or get George Brown to engage with the ball.
Yeah, maybe trying to open up another look down the field with an over.
That's a beautiful move there. It's going to go out for a Colts throw-in.
17th, now 18th minute here in the first half. Not much doing for either side.
Yeah, again, just a sole shot from Duarte between the two teams as he launches a ball forward for Lukiyama. He knows he has the speed to get that. Duarte looking for the back pass. It's going to be a throw-in for George Brown.
Late signal coming in. Just looking for...
Yeah, I think he was unsure. Just waiting for the ref's call.
Looking for some help there from the officials. Crew. Good header there from Ventura Oliveira.
That one's going to go all the way back to the keeper, Sherivar.
Justin Yard up there pressuring the keeper. We haven't called his name much yet tonight, but the Colts love to send the ball his way.
Yeah, he must be such a towering presence. Being a goalie, seeing Yard come forward. Just a gigantic man, full of muscle. As here, the keeper comes off his line quick to make sure Vlasic can't get through there.
Yeah, 6'1", Justin Yard is a beast for Centennial.
Very physical player. Really hard to get him off the ball. It's going to be a throw-in for George Brown. Colts player went down there. Hopefully everything's okay. As we were saying in the women's game, every time a player goes down, they're just getting hit hard because the floor is very, very stiff.
Yeah, turf is freezing cold today, and usually I would rather land on some turf. Well, depends on the turf, I guess, but you never want to land on turf when it's this cold.
You don't want to land on anything when it's this cold.
No.
This is going to be a goal kick for the Colts. Josh Lorraine just grabbing another ball.
It's senior night here at Colts Pitch. We mentioned the 7 already honored for Centennial. The Colts want to thank them for their contributions both on and off the field. They were honored pregame with a plaque as a nice battle right in front of us here.
Duarte got caught out there, but Luke did great to step back in and win possession back for Centennial. As you can see, these two have a very good on-field relationship where they very much do understand each other on and off ball.
Yeah, great chemistry. Some of that developed in the indoor season too, you'd have to think, but
No, this is actually Luke's first season.
that's unreal. That's great for him.
Yeah. So he was not here for indoor.
Coming into his first semester, graduating from Barrie, Luki Hama, the 5'11 defender.
But just, again, such an outstanding defenseman, and even on offense, he's such a huge threat for Centennial. You'd think that he'd be, like, in his fifth season, but, like, he's not, and that's always shocking whenever I remember that.
Yeah, very poised freshman.
Does good there to keep the ball in. Finds Velasquez over to Duarte. Little lob over the back line. Can't find a Colt. Velasquez does good to regain possession again. As you can see now, Centennial just trying to start to squeeze George Brown back into their own 18-yard box, cutting off half the length of the field. Duarte's on the ball. It's back to Ferrari.
You hear the George Brown team telling themselves to tighten up. There's too much space, but
Duarte does incredible to keep that ball in. From our angle, it looks like it did just go out, but linesman unfortunately missed that one. It's going to be given up by Ferrari.
it was a good look through the crowd, and they still have it over there, but it'll ultimately be cleared out. They'll regroup for something else.
Ferrari's on the ball here. Back to Narain. Just kind of resetting the play.
Yeah, Centennial definitely controlling the ball the last 10 or so minutes. As we roll into the 23rd minute, almost halfway, over halfway through this first half.
I think it's exactly halfway.
It was exactly as I was saying that was halfway, but
That's incredible timing.
yeah. But yeah, as we've said, just the one shot on target that looked dangerous from Ventura Oliveira, but it was an easy save.
It's a good ball over the back line, and Centennial is able to keep possession here. Fighting off three defenders, looking for an option. And it's going to end up being a Colts throw as it goes off the George Brown defender.
Yeah, good battle down there by, can't tell who it is from here, but gonna get brighter numbers on these jerseys for us.
That's going to be an advantage for the Colts as here's Luki Hama on the ball. Loves running down this right wing. Good cross in that is cut out by number 18, Samuels, and it'll be the first corner of the game for Centennial. Duarte is getting ready to take this one.
Yeah, Ventura Oliveira will try to put this through into the box. We'll see. No doubt Justin Yard will be in there battling.
So setting up for their play. Looking like they just bunch up at the edge of the box and all rush the keeper at once.
Give themselves a few looks coming through, but nothing gets past the George Brown defenders. And they'll turn it quickly up the other way.
Velasquez does incredible there to stop a huge rush for George Brown.
That could have been dangerous quickly, but they'll still try to turn it into something.
He cuts in. He's passed a couple, and his shot's wide.
Way wide of the target.
That was a great run from Gianfranco Galeppo.
Yeah, good defensive job by the Colts there, forcing the wide shot. Almost 2 full net lengths towards the corner.
He actually hit the corner on the net to the side, but unfortunately that's not the one that he needs to be aiming for. But nonetheless, a huge run. Duarte loses possession here to
Get a big collision down there as some of the George Brown players will come charging in to make sure their guy's all right.
Yeah, he's been down. I actually missed that one.
Free kick was called, and they're going to call for the trainer.
Oh, boy. So another George Brown Husky player down. Duarte went in for that challenge. Ref said he got all ball, just a throw-in. Ref's telling Duarte to hit the road.
Yeah, Ihama just checking everybody out over there to make sure everyone's okay. Nothing stewing over there maliciously. Everyone's all cool-headed, but just a quick.
Duarte just going in and try to apologize.
Yeah, nothing was meant to. Just a soccer play.
It's number 7, Marcelli Smiley. Hard collision. Looks to be okay. Just going through the precautions with George Brown's trainer.
Yeah, he'll fix his shin pad, and he'll be all right to stay in this one.
That's funny enough. He'll end up taking the throw-in.
So good enough to stick out there.
Yeah, ref's going to tell him he's got to wait to get back on. It's going to be number 4, Rico taking the throw instead.
Good battle with Ihama in the corner.
It's a wave back on the field now. Duarte with the possession. Colts are going to launch it down. Samuel is with a great chest down as he launches that one back forward. Trying to go right back on offense. That's great defense there. It's going to be a throw-in midway down the field for George Brown on the opposite side of us.
Yeah, Josh Narain hasn't been that busy. The Colts keeper trying to stay
catches.
warm in this chilly night.
Oh, yeah, not fun.
Can imagine he's doing a couple laps around his box.
He's jogging back and forth. Yeah, he's only had to make a couple catches.
Both keepers have been relatively quietly tested. Centennial will bounce this around the defenders, trying to find something up the field.
Yeah, both the Colts men's and women's team are so good with possession. They seem okay to just pass around in the back end and force the team that they're playing to press them, really.
Yeah, see if they can overstep, find the hole, but Centennial, as they stand currently, as I mentioned, in 3rd place, looking to host St. Lawrence if the standings hold out the way that they do. But the things could shift as the final few days of the OCAA regular season play out.
That ball's going to be cleared all the way back to Ferrari.
So a couple of the seniors honored tonight actually aren't in the lineup due to some injury concerns.
Yeah, definitely don't. You've secured your spot in the playoffs or in the play-in round. You don't want to pick up a needless injury in a game that you didn't need to play in.
Yeah, we saw them be very cautious as well with Ventura Oliveira.
Yeah, he played through a game with the groin injury. That was a game against Algonquin, which he scored and won.
That was a big game for Centennial that ended up meaning a lot in the standings. And he came through for them in that moment.
Centennial still with the ball. Just again, passing it around. George Brown are happy to let the Colts have all the possession.
Yeah, it's not a dangerous win of the possession game that Centennial has been having in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Got about 15, 60 minutes left before added on time, which I would assume would have a decent amount as there's a couple.
Yeah, we've seen some
injuries.
delays for injuries so far, but
Nothing too serious, thankfully.
no, both teams, though, on the sidelines trying to stay warm.
Oh, we're all in the same boat there.
We'll be doing our halftime laps as well.
It's a long ball over for Luke Ihama, and he's able to keep possession there, just turning the defender inside out.
Yeah, turning something into nothing there. Great job. Ho-ho. That was almost a great play from Centennial. Almost found yard on the cross was Ventura Oliveira after the great work from Ihama in the corner.
Well, the ref is going to say it went off Yard last, so
So Yard did get a piece of it.
Yeah, just wasn't able to swipe his head in the direction
That would
towards
have
the
been a
net.
great opportunity for Centennial if it was able to be directed on goal.
Would have troubled Sherivar for sure. George Brown playing out of the back. He's Smiley with the long ball through. It's going to be cut out. They get the ball back instantly. Colts are looking at counter here. They do have the pace that they need, but George Brown able to get it to the goalie before Centennial are getting anywhere close.
Shaw Rivar, we mentioned, only started 2 games so far for George Brown. They have 3 keepers with time. Their most relied upon keeper has been Paramveer Singh. He started 4 games, and Mabror Butt has also started 2.
This is a good long ball over. It's headed by a George Brown player just off the line, and we almost saw a massive own goal.
That was incredibly close out of nowhere, and that just trickled past the post there. We almost saw that.
Another highlight reel goal. Now, I wasn't here for the games against Durham, but the week before I did see the goal from halfway. That could have potentially topped it. If that went in off the center back's head, could have topped it.
Here comes the boot, but it's a long one.
Yeah, corner was just overcooked.
Duarte Ventura Oliveira down there. Overheated on that one. So as I mentioned, the current playoff opponent for the Colts, they haven't saw St. Lawrence since the very first game of the season where they defeated them 2-0. So if it stands,
Luke with the long ball. No one's going to chase. It's going to be a goalie's. Neither team really potent in the offense so far. Just kind of hopeful passes, wishful thinking.
yeah, even the balls we have seen make their way into the box haven't been all that dangerous. The most dangerous one might have been on an own goal potential.
That would have been something for sure. Samuel's on the ball here for George Brown, looking for options.
Rolling into the 33rd minute here in the first half.
That's a great cutout by Vlasis.
Papa Themu with a great heads-up play.
Colts switch play.
Dangerous pass, but it's carefully handled the other way.
Duarte finds Ihama. Vlasis, Duarte. Still with the ball. He's going to look to cut in and shoot if possible. Nothing in that tackle.
Yeah, stood up by Samuels. Nice play there.
Great lunge. Just close the angle off.
Yeah.
And George Brown, I believe that was Samuels again.
Samuels just missed the
the route of
pass
play.
and turns the ball over. A bad spot.
Ferrari trying to put it back in. That's a great pass. That finds Yard. Back for Vlasis.
Yeah, well defended right now by George Brown. Not letting Centennial turn this into anything.
Just kind of parking the bus. They know how good Centennial is offensively.
Yeah, they are doing a really good job boxing them out.
It's going to be a throw-in for Centennial.
Get a new ball brought in from the other side.
Yeah, as we see one of the staff members collecting the ball all the way down. That was going to be tossed in. Duarte. He goes for a shot. That's a really good one.
That was a ripping shot. It had a good chance to get in that top right corner, but just sailed wide.
Ended up dipping at the last second as well.
It was a good look.
Very good look. Why not?
Absolutely. There hasn't been many real close quarter chances, so why not let one rip from a little farther out? Almost the same distance we saw his other shot come from. That really has been the only two dangerous moments in the game.
I think this one was even farther out.
I think you're right. It was a really powerful strike from Ventura Oliveira, but sailed wide. George Brown looking to respond, but turns it over.
Another turnover here. George Brown are going to try to counter as quick as possible. The ref's getting out of the way for this one. Good one-time pass. DiCotio with the cross in. The rain's off his line, and he just gets to it in time.
That was the closest we've seen coming to a goal today. As a replay shows there, it almost squeaked by Narain.
Yeah, Bailey just able to kind of side foot one. And here we go with Centennial with a big offensive chance. That one was slipped in, but gets booted off the line by the captain. And George Brown are looking to counter now, so all of a sudden the game has completely opened up.
Yeah, the dial has been turned up a bit here as we roll on into the 36th minute.
It's going to be a throw-in for George Brown. Yeah, just under 10 minutes left in normal time. Like we said earlier, a couple injuries. Probably going to be a hefty amount of added on time, so you're probably looking at least 20 minutes left in the half, I would say. George Brown player just inching up.
He tried to inch a little too far that time.
Ref told him, get back. A header clears it. Vlasis helps it farther down the field.
So a few opportunities at either end, but we still sit at 0-0.
DiCotio with the pass. Finds Rico. It's going to be a free kick.
Mark DiCoito, the OCAA leading scorer with 10 bingos on the season. So the free kick coming. Noreen will look to stand tall.
Galeppo takes this one. They managed to get a header off, but off balance. Definitely a tough one for sure.
Yeah, I went for the real deep look, but nothing coming.
Noreen's going to have another goal kick.
Noreen in his third year from Markham backstops this team very effectively.
Incredible goalkeeper. That's some great dribbling there. George Brown looking to counter again. The back pass got him by surprise. He had to go back for it. DiCorso looking for the through ball. They're slowly making their way up the field. That's going to be all the way back to the keeper, Sharavar. Outside of his box looking for someone. He finds Samuels, who runs into trouble. Yard can he stopped his run, but he was potentially 1-0 with the keeper.
It was almost a fast break there for Yard.
It's a good box out, though, by the
very
defenseman.
Good box out, and I think he was also slowing up a little to stay on side, but I think he looked well on side from where we were.
So we see on that replay them just passing triangles around. That one's all the way back to the goalie.
That one was unable to be headed effectively by the Huskies, so Ihama will look to set it up.
Quick throw in back to Ferrari.
Challenge,
Beautiful.
but beat him.
And he's still going. He gets through multiple players.
Somehow that ball's still moving downfield, but
That was incredible. He sidestepped the first one. got two George Brown Huskies to basically meet each other. They stopped, gave each other a little handshake, said, "Hi, how are you?" And they didn't realize Ferrari was down on goal.
Almost a big collision between two players on the same side.
That wouldn't have been good.
That would have been a big, big collision.
George Brown looking to finally get some more offense here, as that cross is half decent, but they don't have anyone in the box attacking the ball.
Yeah, potential dangerous opportunity, but nothing really coming from it.
Yeah, very unfortunate for them, as again it was a pretty good cross, but they didn't have anyone else in the box chasing it, which is unfortunate. Both teams are struggling offensively midway through this game, as it seems like they're both okay to let each other have possession, and when one of them has possession, the other one sits very far back, and then it's hard to break them down. This long ball is going to go up for Duarte, leaves it for the defender.
He's too high for him, so he had to let it go. Just 4 minutes to go before added time in the first half. Creeping down around 6-7 degrees here at Colts pitch.
Yeah, not fun to sit outside in. They're going to let DeCoito just slowly make his way up the field. He's going to launch this one all the way over. George Brown's going to have trouble keeping this in play. This is going to be a free kick against George Brown. Centennial ball. Staking quickly as they just want to get it back into play. Vlasis with the ball. He turns back. A little bit of a wayward pass, but nothing Farias can't handle. This one's over to Ihama. He finds Duarte. Centennial slowly creeping up the field as that one goes through the defender's legs, but he's able to keep possession there. Just kind of runs out of play there. Duarte takes a quick throw in over to Adonis.
Oh, it's too hard to handle there for Papathemiou.
Great little skill there to get out of the way. Keeper's off his line, but it's going to be another free kick for the Colts. And the first yellow card of the night is going to go towards George Brown. We'll get a confirmation on number very soon.
Hakeem Bailey will take the first yellow card as he looked to throw a little bit of an arm or a bit of body position towards the Colts' way, but ends up drawing the card. Just a yellow, but
also just George Brown, a couple of free kicks or a couple fouls given in succession. The team itself is slowly going to build up to getting their first card, and unfortunately it was Bailey's that tipped them over the top. Yarihama on the ball. Passed all the way back to Ferrari. Over for Narain in net. Not the greatest touch there by Vlasis. And he's going to give up a free kick as he just pulls the player back. Yeah, Galeppo just did very good to put his body in front of the ball there. As this one's going to be launched all the way over to Josh Narain. Another easy catch. So we're creeping into the last minute and a half of the first half before added time.
Yeah, we'll see if either team can get anything going before the half. As we've only seen a few close chances. Pretty well defended game on both sides.
Yes, this is a very defensive game, which both teams need, especially George Brown, because you're down in fifth. The top 8 make it, and you can't drop points this late into the season with not having your security in the playoffs. It's just too much to risk. So I think both teams would be okay walking away with a point here. But we'll see if either team really goes for the venom punch and goes for the win. Ferrari's on the ball here. Sends it down to his center back partner.
Yeah, we've seen Centennial partake in a lot of offensively minded games. So one that is more defensively fronted. The change of pace here.
It's a little odd.
Yeah.
Feels weird. So you can see Centennial starting to stir. Ihama and Duarte just flipping positions, getting the more playmaker-esque player closer to the ball as he launches it all the way down to the winger.
Yeah, seeing if they can get anything cooking here as time's winding down. The 35th minute is rolled, so we're in out of time.
Just eyeballing it, you would assume maybe 5 or 6 minutes as multiple injuries, a lot of fouls, and even a card. That's not the greatest touch by the Colts player there, and it's going to be easy for Sherivar to collect that one.
Yeah, it just hobbles onto it, sets something up the other way, giving it to their playmaker, DeCoito.
He's got power in his legs.
Yeah, 10 goals in that boot already.
That one's going to be goodbye, it's gone. Don't worry where that one went. It's going to be a throw-in for George Brown in a very dangerous area for this team. So we get another ball ready to be used in the play. As Rico throws it in. Gets us back underway. George Brown doing good to make sure that ball doesn't get cut out. Again, doing great to keep possession here. George Brown slowly getting the ball farther up the field. But Centennial do very well to put pressure and force him back as they do turn over the ball, and it's going to be a Colts throw in here.
Yeah, action slowing down a little bit as we're inching towards the half.
I think both sets of players are just begging to go back inside, warm back up for a couple of minutes, and then come out and play the second half.
Yeah, I can expect the first couple minutes of the next half to be a lot very
faster,
very fast paced, and someone looking to do something quick coming right out of the locker room.
Vlas is making his way forward.
It's still not time, or still time left here, as the Colts will look to go up 1-0 before the half.
This is some beautiful dribbling here. Diego Faria still on the ball. He falls, and it's going to be a...
I think they're calling an offensive foul, and then they're going to give him the card.
So that's the first yellow card of the game. The way the ref first pointed it, he pointed it closer to the spot, so I was intrigued for a second, thinking Centennial might have won themselves a penalty, but it's going to be a yellow card to Diego Farias.
It was a great run up through. It started with some nice dribbling, but just couldn't beat the last guy. Ended up resulting in him taking a card, but still a couple plays left to go in this extra time.
It's going to be Sherivar who passes it over. DeCourto taking the ball up the field. Colts now trying to counter with the ball. George Brown are going to shoot it on goal.
That's a big look there.
Save.
That's a great save by Josh Noreen in extra time here in the first half to keep this one knotted at 0.
Yeah,
that was a great look there. Free open shot and a diving stop from Noreen.
Definitely the closest that either team has got in this first half to scoring a goal. Pressure's not over yet as George Brown do have themselves a corner off of that save.
They'll be looking to send themselves into the locker room up 1. They can turn something out of this.
That would be ideal for them.
Be a backbreaker for Centennial.
It's a good cross in. It drops. It's going to be lobbed up. That should be Noreen's ball, and it is. And that's halftime.
So a little bit of pressure there from George Brown at the near end of the half, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, Centennial able to stay defensively solid as we've pegged this game, being a very defensive game for both teams. At the half, it's still 0-0. 2 yellow cards, no red cards, no goals.
Not a lot of shots, but the ones that have gotten through have been handled easily by the keepers. That last look by George Brown on Noreen was probably the one of the half, but Noreen coming up big as he has all season for the Colts as the third place Centennial team heads to the locker room, knotted up at 0. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
blood trying to call me. I was up jumping early in the morning. Ooh, on the wave like a durag. Calling for a blue bag. Yo, Gucci on my shoe rack. Woke up in the house till I ran into the club. Till I ran into the mud. I done ran into some racks. I done ran into your club. Why the plug show me love? I done came up on my dub.
Yo, this guy's a liar. There's still power in my power bank. I just don't know if there's enough power.
We gon' Bentley in some spaceship. Call me on my phone, on sync. I make money when I'm talking. I'm a boss, take a loss. I can introduce you to the club. See no lady in my cup. Stay down, not a ranks up. She gon' let me plug. I said keys in the Louis V. 12, I'm a G, ain't no stopping me. And my wrist is on overseas. Rich, you can talk to me. Ever since I was a kid, I've been a chick. If I was you, but I might miss some good. Take some time for my body. Shit is so bad, but I'm dirty. Ever since I was a kid, I've been a chick. You should let it go, she wanna be double time on my body. It don't matter what they say, I'm timeless. City on fire, when I'm coming home. Feel like the sky, I feel like the dome. The baby one day, it's a hell of a show. too much fun. Protect the leak the plan. That's too much fun. Hermes in the past. That's too much fun. They let me know before I was famous. I had too much fun. All of my really blown up. Too much fun. That's too much fun. That's too much fun. That's too much fun. That's too much fun. Protect the leak the plan. That's too much fun. Got diamonds on all of my fingers. Too much fun. Yeah, all of my dollars they shot. Haters like knock that down. Yeah, all of your dollars are fake. You need to stop that down. Stop that down. You really kissing that girl like she ain't talking, y'all. Should kill my name with the haters, cause I'm blocking y'all. Yeah, it's too much sauce. Yeah, rockin' me knowing I'm rockin' my boy. Yeah, she smiling me on her teeth with that ice. Yeah, smoking that got me high like a guy. Too much sauce. Yeah, that's what they know I just said. More like boss, hey. Yeah, that was on my check. He said, what's my cost? Hey, you wanna know where I'm at? Keep it cut. Yeah, I need to plan. They let me know before I was famous. I had too much fun. All of my heels blown up. Too much fun. 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 Protect the leak the plan. Too much fun. Got diamonds on all of my fingers. Too much fun. Too much sauce. Yeah. Diamonds ain't know I just said. More like boss. Hey. Yeah. Yo man. Turn myself right to a boss. Like, yeah. Popping no matter the cost. Like, yeah. Look right in my bed. Yeah. Think me a future. Don't us a quiz. Yeah. Wait. No good money. Back rather than new ones. Yeah. Fake energy don't move us. Dominate while I can prove the lie. Dominate serving the jewels the lie. Got me low like a fool. Yeah, the leak the plan. Too much fun. Hermes in the plan. Too much fun. They let me know before I was famous. I had too much fun. All of my really blown up. Too much fun. 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 Protect the leak the plan. Too much fun. Got diamonds on all of my fingers. Too much fun. Too much fun. Yeah. Diamonds ain't know I can sign. I get money, I'm a star. Get money, I'm a star. Kaseku, orera wa star. Okane kaseku, watashi wa star. Kira, watashi wa star. He know who I am, ain't had to say my name. Stack it up like Tetris, but this money ain't a game. Watashi kawaii, karata. Drink it out the bottle, getting twisted, marijuana. Big exotic Hermes, this a crap. Watch too expensive, ain't no way I'm getting caught. I think I'm so sexy, every shirt I own is crap. So many carats, dollars, good, bunny, high. US or Japan, if he meet me, he gon' buy. I got yen for your friends, if they pretty, bring them out. Pouring diamond, Madam Blue, pouring sake in they mouth. Tell him put me on his plate, bring them chopsticks to the south. I get money, I'm a star. I get money, I'm a star. Okane kaseku, orera wa star. Okane kaseku, watashi wa star. Kira, watashi wa star. Like a letter.
かまた願い叶えながら暮らすジュエリー身につけたまま歌スターたちが集まったスタジオ夜な夜な酒たくさん並ぶアジトさっきまで六本木で収録ラジオそっからテレビ撮影するはしごカメラたち追いかけてる俺たちを大好きピカピカのダイヤ暗いとこ輝いてる毎晩 Nice to meet you する挨拶 I'm so happy ありがたいな I get money I'm a star 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 I get money I'm a star 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 お金稼ぐ俺らはスターお金稼ぐ私はスタースタースタースタースターキラキラ私はスター
And we are back for the second half of action. Colts or George Brown's getting set to kick off. 0-0 game from the first half. Very much a defensive game. I'm back here, Anthony Santia with
Zach Phillips here alongside the cold Anthony Santia.
I am shivering, and I'm trying my best not to stutter while speaking, and it's worked for a game and a half, and I hope it works for this half too.
Yeah, we're ready to get back underway. Like you said, a very defensively conservative first half from both sides. We saw it open up for a few minutes here and then, but ultimately it was the defensive sides prevailing as we get started here.
While Josh Narain making a huge save at the end of the first half was ultimately the best challenge or the best chance for either team, but he still slammed that door shut.
Yeah, time winding down in the first half. George Brown had two great looks.
Just kind of snuck one in.
Yeah, right before we got into the locker room, but Centennial did a good job controlling the ball for what seemed to be most of the first half, but when they were controlling the ball, George Brown had great setups defensively, and Centennial was just stuck to the perimeter.
Well, we started the way that we ended the first half with Centennial having possession far in the George Brown half.
Yeah, it's senior night here. As you've been with us this entire game, you saw 7 different seniors getting honored for the Colts before this one got underway. I'll run through them again real quickly in case you weren't here. Aziz Traore, Matthew Demichel, Natharshan Unyarharda, Luis Pinatare, Olusumi Oye, and last but not least, Santiago Arave Arias. All 7 of those guys. Oh, I'm missing one. Justin Yard, excuse me, as well. So all 7 of those guys.
Keith Datson.
Keith Dadson was the one I was missing, not Justin Yard. So all 7 of those guys getting honored here today with a nice photo and a speech before the game.
We also saw a couple yellow cards handed out, one to each team. Diego Farias for Centennial.
When the games are Saturday.
And Hakeem Bailey for George Brown.
So it's 1 and 3:15.
Centennial playing out the back right now. Narain launched that one forward, waiting for someone to go for a run. As Centennial actually is going to be able to... No, never mind. He wasn't able to keep it in. I assumed for a moment of time that he was able to keep it in. He fooled me. It's going to be another goal kick this time. It's going to be for Andrew Sharavar. Didn't really have the busiest of nights in the first half. Neither did Josh Narain. Both keepers really only facing one legitimate opportunity each. That's a good pickup there by Vlasis. Great footwork there by Justin Yard, able to pull back from one, not the other. Adonis is great there to win possession back for the Colts.
Centennial's final game of the season will be this Saturday. The men at 3:15 with the women's side getting started before them around 1. It'll be their final game of the season.
Both against the Durham Lords.
In Durham at Vassos Field in Oshawa.
Diego Farias looking to swap it all the way down. Duarte does well to win that one. Luke Ihama does phenomenal to keep it in. Back to Duarte. He's very dangerous at the edge of the box. Good cross in, and it's going to be half cleared off the face of one of the center backs. Farias very physical there, winning the ball back. Vlas is slowly making his way up the field, finds Yard. Shamir doing good to chase that one. Natharshan back for Farias. Just looking for an open man, but he's going to have to go back to Luca Ferrari. His first touch of the half.
Much of what we saw in the first half, just perimeter, working the ball, just no way through.
Speaking of no way through, George Brown looking to counter here, and it's just not a good ball. All the way back to the goalie. We reset again.
Good work by Papa Thamiu.
That's a great ball in, and it's going to be tacked out for a corner kick. Colts are on offense early in the second. As now you can slowly start to feel the temperature drop even more. All the fans are bundled up in blankets and cuddling. It's a cold one.
Yeah, the game was definitely had a quicker pace for the first couple minutes out of the half with the players,
which we expected,
coming out with the warmth. But it's starting to wear off a little bit here, but Centennial will look to keep the pressure on.
That was a great little 1-2 between Duarte and one of the other Colt players. I can't quite catch his number, but it ended up having the effect of another corner kick for Centennial. Another short kick taken by Centennial. That's a great little move to get free. The cross in's a good one. Not out of danger yet for George Brown. And they look to counter quick.
Good look there by the Colts, just not able to get anything on target.
Yeah, just couldn't hit the trigger there on that one. Colts do great on defense to keep that one in play. Wayward pass has both teams scrambling, but I believe it was Diego Farias just launching it all the way down, getting the danger out of the way.
Leading scorer Duarte Ventura Oliveira over there pressuring for Centennial. He's going to have to be the man that leads them into the box.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at him for his magical dribbles and just what he can make and create.
Anytime he touches the ball, something can be created out of it. You just never know what he can do.
This is true. Centennial looking to clear the ball. Yard's going to head it over. Natharshan with another header. Yard takes it off his chest, and it's going to be George Brown ball. So you see both the Colt casually walking past us.
Throw in back towards their own goal for Centennial. Noreen will try to kick it up, get something started.
It's a long ball from Josh Noreen. Doesn't go anywhere. But it's going to go back to Brian Alvarez. Finds Luca Ferrari, his center back partner for the evening. That's a long ball forward, just out of reach for Luki Hama. George Brown gets set to throw this one back into play. Duarte intercepts that, but again, just going to be a throw-in, maybe about 7 or 8 feet higher up the field this time for George Brown.
Yeah, the pace taken right out of this game is the ball just keeps getting pushed back and forth over on that side of the field. Maybe they'll swing it over to the other side, see if they can open it up.
Alvarez launching this one forward, looking for Duarte. His touch lets him down there. Luckily, it's going to be a throw-in for the Colts. Yeah, it's almost as if we need one of the teams to score to wake up the other team. Both of these teams are kind of just coasting midway through this game, as we've played about 8 minutes through the second half, excuse me.
Not much opening up offensively for either side.
It's going to have to be a wonder goal from one of the teams. I don't think you're going to be able to break down either team's defense. They've both been too solid. You're probably going to start seeing some.
Yeah, I think you're bang on, Anthony. It's going to be a quick break or a fast turnover that's going to lead to something here. As we say that, and it almost turned into a big mistake there from George Brown, but they're able to recover.
Yeah, Don is so fast on that ball, just trying to win it as quick as possible. So he is one of the more skillful players in this Colts lineup. Really, again, able to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, looked to open up a bit for George Brown, but he decides to take it across the field instead of attacking the goal.
Yeah, that one was an easy cutout play for Luki Hama. Noreen has the ball again. He's got options, and he's going to go to Brian Alvarez.
He's got Diego Ferre right in front of him.
Yeah, Farias with a good pass over Vlasis, who finds himself in some space. Looks for the long ball through. That's cut out by the George Brown defender. Still in a dangerous position as he is just forced to clear that back.
Vlasis, Papa Matthew.
Shamir, who we saw score a world-class finish from halfway down the field a couple weeks ago. This is some great play from Centennial. Shamir didn't even see the player behind him. He just lost the ball. That's a phenomenal tackle by Alvarez, as that ball is going to be a throw-in for George Brown. It'll be Divya Palan taking the throw-in.
The battle ensuing here right in front of us, but Centennial being able to hold possession of the ball. They'll swing it across to the other side. And again, nothing really mustering for either side, especially on George Brown's side of the field.
Yeah, I would assume between the two teams, Centennial have been the closer to scoring, but that doesn't mean that they've been close to scoring. Brian Alvarez to Vlasis, over for Luca Ferrari. Duarte trying to force his way through. It's going to be a goal kick again. Shiravar is getting ready to take this one.
Four games across the OCAA this afternoon for men's soccer. Algonquin has defeated St. Lawrence 5-1. St. Clair's defeated Lambton 4-2. And just getting underway is Niagara and Mohawk along with this one. So Algonquin stays atop the standings with their dominant victory over St. Lawrence, as Centennial and George Brown both are chasing the Algonquin Wolves in the standings.
This is the real first opportunity George Brown's had to attack Josh Narain's net. It's going to be a corner kick for the Huskies. It's going to be number 10, Galepo, taking this one. Alvarez gets up there and clears it. Yard's trying to get through. He can't. This drops again, and it's going to be wide from the Huskies.
That was a few good looks there for George Brown. Not able to put it home, but that shot there just ripped wide. I think Noreen would have been able to corral it had it been on target, but starting to pick up a little bit for George Brown.
Duarte just under a little bit of pressure while on the ball, but he finds Brian Alvarez in the back line. That's a lovely chance here.
Smart decision by the keeper there to come out and challenge that.
Yeah, very quick off his line. That's what you like to see from your goalkeeper.
Yeah, decisive. Any hesitation there, and that probably ends up in the back of his net.
Minimum corner kick for Centennial if he doesn't go out for that.
For sure.
So now it's George Brown's turn to hold possession in the back line for a little while.
Send that off across and out on the other side of the field, and Centennial will try.
Furias is going to take this ball into George Brown's half.
Good
Sends it over to Adonis. Furias with the ball. Runs into 3 George Brown defenders. Doesn't stop there as him and Adonis are pressuring hard. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Colts.
Yeah, that's a good call by the officials to award that to Centennial right in front of us here.
Yeah, Hakeem Bailey just kind of ran out of space there and accidentally sent it out of bounds. Vlasis on the ball. Tries to find Yama, who just keeps it in play. Duarte has it now. Gives up possession. Centennial win it back instantly. Out wide for Furias. He's going to go right at the defender.
Tripped up and just kept in bounds.
Yeah, it was a good tackle there as he won all ball. So Alvarez coming sliding there. Luckily didn't hit anyone.
Ezram Gabredensing with a great play.
That's a great ball out wide to Duarte. He's at the edge of the box. What can he muster? Looked like he was going for a shot that just... A little tackle there by a George Brown player. Took all the sting out of that one. Centennial really starting to press high and hard up the field.
There's the guy they want, but just too high and out of his reach for Ventura Oliveira. Nice through ball there by Ferrace.
Yeah, he did the best of what he could with that ball. As you see, Sherivar just clears it all the way down the field. It's going to be an instant turnover back into Colts possession. We're now through 15 minutes of the second half. Again, not really any huge opportunities for either team so far.
No, nothing earth-shattering. Just a few close shots here and there, but nothing the keepers have really had too much trouble handling.
Frias is very well to keep that ball in play. George Brown looking to counter for the first real attempt in the half, and that ball just strikes him in the shoulder by accident. They do well to retain possession, though. That's a good cross in, and Narain's off his line. Nice and quick, and he drops it.
That was a great opportunity for George Brown.
He's very lucky that one didn't go in the back of his net, but I believe it will end up just being a goal kick, but
he lost control of the ball after diving onto it.
Yeah.
Squeaking behind him, but just getting past the goal and not back out of play and not into the net.
So you see the first substitution of the half coming for Centennial. We'll confirm that for you once we get numbers.
Yeah, I can't tell what numbers checked in yet, but when the ball comes our way, we'll be able to find out.
Alvarez finds Farias. Back to Alvarez. Over for Ferrari. That's a good ball forward, but no one's there to collect for Centennial. George Brown's going to clear it all the way down to Alvarez. Farias on the ball here.
It's Keith Dadson checking in for Centennial now. He's going to be the one throwing the ball in down there. No, it's going to be a George Brown possession, but
So he's the first substitution of the game. So he's doing good to put them under pressure. That one's going to go back in. Drops for Duarte. He's going to try to turn and shoot. That's some great defending there by George Brown. And Centennial ends up getting in the way and winning possession there. It's going to be a Colts throw-in. Another rough landing for a Colt player. Oh, he's tough to fall when it's so cold outside. Hard ground. That's really been the theme of the game so far.
yeah, cool turf. Welcoming him on that one.
Potentially waking him back up. Colts doing well to just hold possession here. Alvarez finds Farias. He sends it all the way back to Vlasis. It's up for Luke Ihama. The ball's going to roll out, but Luke does great to keep that ball in play.
Yeah, excellent work from Luke Ihama. We've seen him make nice plays like that all season long. A really technically sound player.
One of the bright spots in the Centennial team for this season. That's a great cross in for Farias. They clear it just in time before Duarte gets too close for comfort. Ferrari's going to leave it for in the rain. He's going to send it all the way up to Alvarez. He's going to launch it forward looking for Duarte. That's going to be headed out by a George Brown player. It's going to be another Colts throw-in.
Yeah, rolling on to the 65th minute. Still nothing on the scoreboard. A few chances for George Brown. Not much doing close to the net for Centennial, but they've been holding a lot of the possession.
Alvarez does good to settle that ball down. Finds Farias. Great skills there, but George Brown's defense is very solid. Farias sends it back for the little dummy for Adonis. Vlasis looking like he's going to shoot, and he does, but it's, in the end, very, very wide and doesn't trouble Sherivar in net.
Yeah, Papathemiou almost finding some twine with that one.
As we were talking earlier, the defense for both of these teams has been so good that eventually players are going to just start shooting from range, hoping for something to hit the target and potentially go in. So we've already seen some shaky moments from Josh Narain in net, letting that ball slip through him.
It's tough sitting around down there, not getting much action and freezing, and then having such a dangerous chance come out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be
rough.
challenging for these keepers to stay in the match.
Definitely a tough one for sure. This is going to be a Colts free kick, about 15 feet inside the half. Vlasis is going to get ready to take it. Yeah, but back to your point, especially with both of these teams not really being that offensive focused right now, not taking many shots, once the keeper's going to have a shot to face, it's going to be tough, and it's definitely going to sting the gloves.
Yeah, there's some cold hands all around Colts pitch. Definitely the keepers are a part of that.
It's going to be a free kick for George Brown. As you can see now, Duarte's flipped sides. They're going to let him kind of roam the field to try to get more
Yeah,
touches on the ball.
Their superstar is going to roam the field a little bit just to see if they can open him up at all. He's had his chances a few times throughout the game, but George Brown's done a nice job of taking them away.
Shamir's pass is just a little too light, gets picked off. Duarte coming to help out for the double team. George Brown, it's good to keep possession. George Brown are now starting to up the tempo with their passes, just getting a little faster.
Some frustration starting to grow among the George Brown players. Some miscommunication, perhaps. So a couple times we've seen them just trying to get on the same page on the offensive side.
It's going to be a long ball for Duarte. Good defense there. Datsun comes in, can't win possession. That one's going to be left all the way back for Farias, who's going to launch it back to Josh Narain, who does just enough to keep that in possession.
Yeah, that was a great job by Josh Narain. Not an easy position. He was just put in by his defender, but he was able to keep it from being a corner boot.
Luke doing incredible down that wing. It's going to be a good tackle. It's going to be a corner kick. There is a George Brown player that was down for a moment. Seems to be okay. Colts are getting ready for another corner kick.
That's Shamir Akbar. Been kept quiet for most of this one, but look for him to break free.
He'll shoot from anywhere.
He'll shoot from anywhere, and he is speedy. The Colts will also be looking to get him some touches.
Duarte's cross, not the greatest. Doesn't get through the first man. Vlas is going to take it first time. It's going to be blocked. He's got the ball again. Decent cross in, but no one's down the wing. Datsun just ran out of space. It's going to be another goal kick for this George Brown side. Yeah, so this is who I saw on the ground earlier. Galeppo just sitting down earlier, right before the corner kick. Perhaps whatever the injury is, just a little more serious than he thought. He's holding the back of his right leg, maybe a little hamstring injury. So both teams are going to take a breath to go talk over some tactics.
Yeah, the trainers will check on him. But yeah, sometimes that initial bite on the back of your leg, you're like, oh, maybe I can run this one off. But then a few trots up the field, you're like, this might be a little worse than I thought. But
Well,
he'll get checked out.
especially again with the weather being so cold, muscles are going to cramp so much easier. So
Absolutely.
again, even as you said, usually sometimes players will try to run it off. You're just not going to be able to run it off this time. I mean, even my hand's cramping and I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, we're rolling on 69 minutes now in this one. Late in the night here at Colts pitch. You see three players right in front of us chatting some tactics. The captain in there for the
it's
Colts.
Alvarez, Frias, and Duarte. So I'm assuming Duarte is going to stay on this close left-hand flank for the majority of the game. Now he's talking tactics with the left back and left center back. But nonetheless, we're going to take a break and we'll come back once we're resumed in the play. All right, we're back. As soon as I said we were going to go for a break, he got back up. But
yeah, just a quick cramp. They look to stretch out. Hopefully he'll be all right as they send him back over to the sidelines for a quick checkup. I think he'll be waved back in by the official, so he'll be looking to stay in this game, I think. But, yep, he is looking to stay in the match.
Oh, now I don't know. He's walking towards the bench.
He tricked me out. He stood there like he was going to be.
Oh, now he's walking back now.
Okay. We'll keep that development under tabs here.
Well, Centennial are going to try to pounce now with only the 10-man George Brown. We're looking to play out at the back, but play right into another Colts player.
Yeah, he is brought back out, so he is returning to the game after confusing the both of us with a little bit of a lap towards the bench over there.
A little bit of trickery. That one's back for Vlasis. He's going to find Alvarez. Up for Shamir. Shamir's trying to turn in. He does.
I thought Shamir might have had a chance if someone little backed off a little more to rip a shot there. I think he was looking for it, but
That's going to be another free kick, and Frias has to be very careful because he's on a yellow card. As you can hear the ref telling him, be careful, you're walking a fine line, so we could potentially be seeing
it was a
Frias' night potentially over because, well, you don't want to have someone who's that close.
He's already picked up
on
the
the
one
field.
yellow, and the official letting him know that was a great hot mic right in front of us. Hey, man, you're walking a fine one. He'll look to keep it in check here and stay in this game. And that's a call going the way of the Colts. Take a look at the replay here. A big battle, and they will.
You can see in the replay, Luki Hama throwing his arms up, asking why that was a penalty, and his demeanor completely changed. So even the Colts were assuming that that was going to be a penalty, but that actually was a yellow card awarded to the Husky player that had fallen over, maybe potentially for infringement. Maybe he thought the player took a dive. Very interesting one for sure.
Yeah, that was a weird breakdown.
Intriguing.
Ended up all the way down at the other end of the field.
Either way, Luke, he's going to take the ball up the field. Great pass there. Keith Datson with a lob over the back line. Duarte's going.
Oh, that was a great look there by the Colts.
Keeper did just enough to keep that ball out. Let's watch the replay here. Great little dink over the back line by Keith Datson as he saw Duarte running through.
That's a nice save by the keeper, actually. I
Oh,
got
it
a
was
piece of
incredible.
that. Nice body battle. Got position. Was Dadson. A little chip pass. Trying to find Ventura Oliveira, but
Datson with the header on. George Brown struggling to get the ball out. Handball is called against Centennial. It's going to be a goal kick. Or sorry, a free kick.
yeah, Shamir Akbar just getting a hand on that one, unfortunately. As we see the 73rd minute turn into the 74th minute.
Yeah, so about 15 minutes before added on time left in this one.
Yeah, 2/3 of the way through the second half.
Very intrigued to see which team, if any, will score.
It's going to take one quick strike from either side, and I believe we will. I have a strong feeling we're going to see this game end 1-0, but we'll see.
I'm hoping. The neutrals are hoping. It's very exciting going into a game. Gets all nervy, gets all tense. But for now, it's going to be Huskies' ball. Centennial with some great pressure.
I can see Shamir Akbar starting to get, I don't want to say warmed up because that's definitely not the right term to use in today's game, but more comfortable in this environment, and I see him starting to get more looks at the ball. See if he can turn anything into something offensively.
Well, as we were talking about earlier, a couple games ago, he did score from the halfway line. Saw the keeper off his line, so he is one of the types of players that reads all the game. That's going to be a free kick against Keith Datson, as the ref's going to say his arm was up, and we see another player down on the field for George Brown.
Yeah, they will call for the trainer again. So the cold night taking its toll. Can't quite tell who's down there for George Brown. We'll see if we can get a number for you here shortly, but ninth-year head coach John Williams has got to be pretty impressed so far with the defensive effort from the Huskies.
Wow.
Keeping Centennial to the perimeter for most of this game. And the looks they have gotten through, they've gotten big stops from their backup goaltender.
That's incredible. One of their assistant coaches is in his 17th year with the team, which is insane.
Yeah, Richard Kerwan
Speaking as
going into year 17 with George Brown. Very impressive stuff.
Speaking as, like, I'm only 21, and this man has been a part of this team for 17 years. That's just wild.
You got 4 years on his OCAA career.
Barely, just barely. I was born in November, so.
David Latavo, the head coach for Centennial, he's been around 7 years as well. So 2 very seasoned veteran head coaches going to battle here.
Yeah, both of these head coaches really seeing their teams through the thick and thin, blossoming into what they are today.
George Brown has 2 fifth-years on the team. Giannis Jama and Adam Wood, both they're veterans, while Centennial has a 4th year in Keith Dadson, who was honored here tonight on senior night. He will be graduating and leaving the Colts after this year.
It's a great clearance by Natarshan. So we have about 13 minutes left before our added on time. Added on time is just quickly ticking up due to the amount of injuries and cards shown in the second half. Speaking of cards, Diego Farias, man that's been on yellow since the first half. His pass forward is seen collected by the keeper.
I have to commend Farias. Despite the fact he has been on the yellow, I haven't seen much of a change in his game, and we had heard the warning from the official letting him know that maybe he should change the game. But
just take it easy, take your foot off the pedal.
He has been keeping it hammered down for Centennial as this game continues tied 0-0.
As we're going to see another Colts substitution. So confusion on the field who's going to be subbed out.
The captain will try to get something started for Centennial as we run out of time in this 0-0 ball game.
It was Louis Pignatari coming in for the first time this evening. One of the new recruits from Centennial this season. Farias. Large amount of contact, but the ref is going to wave it away to the much to the fans' dismay. That's going to be a good clearance by George Brown. Only far enough to Brian Alvarez. He's had a very solid game at the back.
Yeah, it was Ventura Oliveira checking out for Centennial. So they lose a big offensive piece, but
He'll be back for sure.
he will not be out of this one for long, I don't imagine.
Probably just warming him up, getting him ready for the last couple of minutes. Alvarez is going to take a long shot, and that's going to continue to curl away from the net.
That was more of a dangerous chance than the Huskies defenders made it look like. Alvarez just ripped it wide, but if it hadn't been on target, might have had a good chance of beating the netminder.
It's going to be another goal kick for Sherivar. Again, nothing really coming close to going into either goalkeeper's net. George Brown with the closest chance of both the first and second half. And speaking of that, they are looking to go far towards the net as Centennial's defense stays impeccable as they just launch it out for a throw-in.
It'll be Colts ball.
Yeah, things are starting to get a little heated. I believe it was a free kick. Handball.
He picked it up thinking it was out of bounds. I don't think it ended up going out of bounds.
That's always tough. Farias is now on the ball. Good cut in. That's going to be a goal kick for George Brown.
Take a look at the replay here. The clearing, or the kick, or the corner attempt off the Huskies defender.
It's definitely a tough one, but from the way where the ball ended up, it would have supposedly gone off of the Colts player. It's going to be another goal kick for Sherivar as we hit the 82nd minute. So less than 10 minutes left in regular time. Farias doing good to make sure George Brown stays on the outskirts of the half.
Dangerous cut to the middle. But the Colts keep him from being able to take a shot.
Crosses it Narain's getting ready to kick this one back in.
Shamir Akbar over here in Ventura Oliveira's spot with him on the sideline. Dadson and Ihama
That's
charging.
huge. And he's
pulled
going to
down, but
fall over.
I think he might have just tripped over his own feet.
And it's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for infringement against Luke Ihama. Very intriguing call by the ref as he's going to give the free kick against him. Let's see the replay here as he was running through past multiple defenders. Kind of lost the ball there.
He stumbled over his own feet, and then that brought him into being tripped up.
Yeah, it was very tough to see as the camera angle wasn't the greatest. But either way, it's going to be a free kick for George Brown and another yellow card towards the Colts. I don't know if it would be a yellow card for him falling over or for his protest. I would assume for the protest of the call.
I think the card came in after long enough for us to say it was the protest, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's not the greatest pass in the world, but Shamir does incredible to get that ball.
Great work.
And he breaks. Good through ball for Keith Datson, who just keeps it in play.
Shows an excellent burst of speed.
And they're going to say it went out of bounds.
Oh, let's take a look at the replay.
The replay just didn't catch it, but from our angle,
Just out of the touch there.
from our angle, it looked like it was straddling the line, and the official rule is the ball has to go completely out of the way or off the line. Great header won there by Alvarez. Shamir's on the ball. Chips it back for Vlasic as now the game's starting to heat back up with less than 10 minutes left on the clock. That's a great ball through to Datson. Loses it in his feet. But it's going to go to Farias. It's going to go back to Ferrari. Just had more of a quiet second half. Ihama, the man on the yellow, does good to win a throw-in.
Yeah, now two Colts players sitting on yellows.
It's both of their wing backs, left back and right back on yellows.
84th minute shows its face.
Farias on the ball.
Still 0-0. Colts looking to strike.
Pignatari does good there to keep possession and win a free kick.
This is going to be a
George Brown forcing them to not be able to take a quick free kick. I don't think the ref was content with letting George Brown or with letting Centennial take it as quick as they wanted to. He's going to stop him, make him take it again, as we now see Shamir stand over this ball. We know he has range in his kicks. That's something for sure.
Yeah, Shamir Akbar is going to be looking to put the dagger in this one.
We also see Vlasic stepping over this ball. I would assume it would be Shamir taking this. As he does, it's a good shot on target.
Great
Makes the goalie
opportunity.
move.
Nice kick there from Akbar. Take a look at the replay here. Little fake from Vlasic, pop him a few, but
Didn't really trouble Sherivar that much.
no, it was an easy save, but a nice boot nonetheless over the wall.
Vlasic with the ball right now. Finds Farias. Ball's cut out, and it just goes out of play. And Farias sends the George Brown player flying into the crowd. He's really got to be careful because his next free kick he gives up will be a sending off. We are halfway through the 86th minute, so we're running out of time. If there's going to be a team to score, it has to be now.
Centennial's been controlling the ball, I'd say, for the majority of the game, but the offensive chances have been pretty even for both sides.
Yeah, and at that, not anything very potent for either team. Ihama with the ball, steps through one defender. The cutback!
That was a close look from Centennial.
Yeah, he scuffed his shot. I don't quite know which player it was in the box, but Centennial had their chance. Farias is running. He's ramping. He's still on the ball. Cuts back, and he's shoved over. The ref's going to tell him to get back up.
Much to the dismay of the Colts crowd right in front of it.
Yeah.
They let the official know what they thought of that one. But it was Shamir Akbar losing the battle and falling down.
Datsun does good to try to keep possession there, and he spins the George Brown player off the ball, but it's going to be a throw-in for the Huskies. We have about 2 minutes left on the clock. Sorry, my mistake. 3 minutes left on the clock before added on time, which we should see maybe about another 3 or 4 minutes after that.
Goalies are going to have to stand tall for this last stretch, trying to stay warm. You can see Narain down in his end, jumping around, waving his arms.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the blood flow moving. Adonis trying to win that ball back.
Around 6 degrees at Colts pitch as we wrap this up.
Good cutout by Farias. Alvarez keeping possession, sends it over for Vlasis. Natarshan does good, fakes one way, goes the other. And that's going to be a free kick that he wins.
Big play by Natarshan Enrada. One of the seniors honored here today.
Alvarez steps over this free kick.
His second year from Toronto. Steps up big there.
This is going to leave it's now Farias over this one, with I believe Shamir's coming as well.
Still no Ventura Oliveira for the Colts.
He crosses this one in back post, punched out by the keeper.
That springs George Brown the other way.
And it's going to be a free kick pulled back as the refs tried to play an advantage, but they lost the ball instantly. And it's going to be a yellow card. We're going to wait to give you confirmation for which player on the Colts. Josh Narain is getting a yellow card.
I think for booting the ball all the way back up the field. But
yeah, that'll get you yellow.
So now 3 Colts players.
A minute and a half left in regular time, and it's going to be an instant free kick for the Colts at the edge of the box. Vlasis gets bundled over.
Yeah, a little battle for body position. On the other side of the field ends up.
Narain's going to send this one up, and the ref is going to stop the play for a substitution. Substitution, or he's just going to make him retake it. He threw up the sign for substitution, the ref, but maybe he just wasn't happy with his own positioning. So Centennial have to retake the goal kick again. Colts are pressing.
Yeah, tough break for Centennial on that goal kick.
Farias is bundled over, so it's going to be another free kick in a very dangerous position for the Colts. This is going to be Shamir's opportunity to whip a ball in.
They have the ideal striker handling this one. 15 seconds to go in regular time.
If there's ever going to be a time to be the hero, it's now. Shamir was given instructions by Alvarez, the captain. He whips that one back post, and it's just over the bar.
Just sails too high. From over here, it looked like it had a good line. Let's take a look at the replay. Good angle there. Just an inch over the crossbar. Goodness.
Very audacious late in the game, as we are now officially in added on time.
That would have been one way to win this one, as we still had to play out extra time, but that would have been putting Centennial in a great spot. Shamir Akbar almost plays hero again, but just sends it over the crossbar.
So the ref is going to speak to Keith Datsun about something. I don't exactly know what it is. Potentially something to do with how far up the field he was on the goal kick.
Yeah, Datsun's one of the Colts players we've mentioned on a yellow. And I believe there's a conversation going between the official and the coach. He'll now wave the ball from the keeper. That one's over everybody's head.
Ferrari heads it forward. George Brown keeps possession. This is a great ball through, but they squeeze him out, which is Farias. Great defensive play by Diego Farias as he launches that one forward to Datsun, who just can't make contact with the ball. He's chasing it down as it's back to the keeper, who has some great dribbling in his back pocket to keep this one in. Great touch there. Farias, hard landing as he just slips while kicking that one forward. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he took a hard bite of the turf there right in front of us. Up and right back at it.
Shamir is on the ball now. Pressing forward, dribbling his way in. He gets the cross off. The ref is going to say it's out of bounds again.
Just barely touching it out of bounds there. It was going to be a dangerous look.
Yeah, a millisecond.
We creep through added time. It's going to be a bigger chunk of added time as we've had some injuries, but now about 2 minutes in.
I really wish we were informed how much added on time there is.
I'd love to tell you guys at home how much we got, but it looks to be around 5 to 6 minutes if I had to guess. Still a few minutes to go here.
Natarshan with the ball. He sends it down to the wing. He's not able to keep that one in as it was just a little too high. It's going to be a Huskies throw-in. George Brown's looking to press far down the field. It's going to be another throw-in for the Huskies.
We saw the women's game end the same way in extra time with many throw-ins. Just both teams pressuring the ball insanely hard.
Centennial is great to win that back there. Ihama gets tripped, and that's definitely going to be a yellow card for number 10. That's going to be...
Take a look at the replay here.
Clear foul. Gianfranco Gallipo is going to be in the book with a yellow card.
Takes that foot right out from under him.
Luke Ihama's going to pass it back to Luca Ferrari. Up for Natarshan.
Still in extra time, added time here.
He finds Alvarez. Farias. Does great to get past the defender. The second one slides in and launches it over the back wall. It's going to be a throw-in for Centennial in a very precarious position. Datsun's coming to take the throw-in. He's looking to launch it all the way into the box.
I was going to say, he's going to look to heave this just like a corner.
That's a beautiful throw-in. It's semi-cleared. Alvarez has the ball. Sends it back over to Datsun. Good little dink back in. It's not cleared, and it's going to be a yellow card, potentially a handball.
I think it was a handball, and it's going to give them a free look here. Extra time is winding down.
Number 11 was the one who committed the foul, Hakeem Bailey. I'm assuming it wasn't a yellow card because he's already on one. He would have been sent off if that was the case. As I believe this is Shamir over the ball again. The free kick taker usually is Duarte, but he's not on the field.
Still on the sidelines.
Wall gets a piece of this. It's at the edge of the box. Pignatari looking to take a shot as he gets it back to Shamir. Looking for the skill move, and it doesn't work out. Narain's off his line. They go to look to lob it, and he claims it easy.
And Narain was sneaking up as the Colts were pressing, but he gets back in time to save that one. That would have been dangerous.
Yeah, we were talking about Shamir scoring when the keeper was off the line from halfway a couple weeks ago. Centennial just saved themselves from having that same fate. That's a great ball in. It's going to be another throw-in for the Colts. Virtually in the same spot that it was last time.
Trudging through added time. Winding down here. The Colts will send another body into the box.
Why not? Keith Datsun with another huge throw-in. That's going to go out to Alvarez. Pignatari can't keep that ball. George Brown's looking to counter, and they have the amount of players to do it, but that's going to be back to Josh Narain, who's going to clear it, and that will be the game. A 0-0 draw. After all, and the Centennial crowd is not happy that number 12, Diviapalan, smashed that out of play for absolutely no reason as the final whistle went. Definitely not a classy act from him, but after all, 0-0. Your thoughts?
Yeah, a very interesting game between the two sides here. Not much cooking on offense, and when it did, they weren't that dangerous. We did see some looks get through as the game moved on, but all in all, a very defensive effort by both sides here today.
Yeah, not really any potent opportunities for either team, maybe one at most. The closest George Brown got was in the first half. Phenomenal diving save by Narain. Centennial didn't really get that close overall after the game's done.
Yeah, senior night here for the Colts. Doesn't end up in a win, but they do have some good opportunities throughout the night to continue to build as they head towards the postseason, and a good opportunity to play in a more defensively minded game where they're probably going to be in the postseason, where, as we've seen all year long, they play in a lot of offensive battles. But they'll wrap up their season in Durham on Saturday as they look to battle to the top of the standings, with Algonquin holding firm in first, and Centennial with this draw will stay around third place. But some injuries keeping some of the regulars out of the lineup for Centennial, as well as a crisp, cold night here.
Yeah.
Not making it easy for either offensive side. But senior night, like we mentioned, 7 people honored here today.
From the men.
For the men, and we had 3 from the women's side as well honored. So 10 all-in-all grads that the Colts would like to thank for their contributions to the program, both on and off the field. But that'll do us here for tonight and for our home regular season. But we have playoffs where both the men and the women are looking to be a host, so we'll be back, don't worry. But any more thoughts on tonight, Anthony?
Not really. It was a fun night overall. Very cold night. I'm shivering.
As you can tell, we're bundled up here. We'll be back next week with our winter coats, that's for sure.
Yeah, I really hope that it's not as cold next week, but it's going to be.
We're into October now, and that means OCAA postseason for baseball and soccer is heating up, with basketball and volleyball to get started soon. But for now, here at Colts Pitch tonight, I'm Zach Phillips with Anthony Santia, and we thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.